This is Sanja.
Yo, check it out. It's my girl Sanja.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, what up, Sanja?
Hey. Welcome to another episode of Random Ish with Sanja. How you doing? Oh, my goodness. I have just enjoyed this past weekend. It was great. I was on a mini tour. Love those. Universe, send more my way. Yes. Did a disco Latin party Friday in Rhode Island. So fun. Wore a wig for the first time in public. Never do that. White wig. It was fun. Hot. Girl. I do not. Shouts out to the ladies who wear wigs on a regular basis. Girl, I don't know how you do it. Because I was like, this thing in my face. I look cute, but this thing in my face. And I'm hot. And my hair is sweating. Honey, I did not even wait till I get in my car before I took it off. Like, the party was done. There was still a few stragglers there. And I was like, I don't give a damn. Took it off and, like, let my fro fly. It was great. Oh, my goodness. But it was so fun. Thank you for having me. And then Sunday did a wedding, a Haitian wedding in New Jersey with DJ Islet. What's up? Thanks for having me come and MC and help you out with that. That was so fun. And then yesterday, which is what the podcast is about, I did a celebration of life. I've never played a celebration of life party before. And it was my mind is blown, you guys, okay? Not because so much of playing a celebration of life party, but because of listening to this man's life. It was very interesting to me how this man was born in 1948. This is a white male. And especially with what's going on right now with, like, politically, and this effing guy saying, like, racist remarks. I don't mean to get off the subject, but I really truly believe that everything that this guy is doing, I don't think he's doing it on purpose, but I believe that he's the catalyst, or one of the catalysts, for us to get to change. The reason why I say that, you're like, wait, what? The reason that I say that is because, so I did this celebration yesterday. So the man was born in 1948, and here's what was amazing is he did have a daughter. His story, like my mother's story, when you were born in that time period, you were not allowed to be you. I mean, you could be you, but if you were you was gonna get beat up, you know. As it was, people were being mean to each other. I saw an old video from out here on the East Coast of some little black kids just riding their bikes in the neighborhood in New York. And these white kids came up to them and then started bullying them, telling them, get out of here and you don't belong here, when they did live in that neighborhood. And amazingly that it was caught on camera. And then the camera people asked the little kids, hey, what happened? And they were like, they were being mean to us and, telling us that we don't belong here in this neighborhood. And we do belong here. We do live here. We weren't doing anything. We were just riding our bikes and these people were bothering us. And when I saw that, it pulled at my heartstrings. Here's the thing is that I'm a deliberate creator, and I believe that we have to have people who are holding steady to the frequency of us being aware that we are one, versus looking at and pointing out all of the problems. I cannot look at and point out all of the problems just because of the nature of my being. I'll start experiencing that. And I want to be a light for the wellness and be a light for us getting it together. I'm just saying, right? Okay, so this man being born in 1948 had to live his life as a straight man. And then later on, he, got the courage to say, this is me. And he came out and living his best life. Okay. So what I find so amazing is that we think that we're not connected. We think that we're these separate individuals all living and breathing here on this planet Earth. And unless you're like blood related, you might realize that you have some things in common with people. But for the most part, we don't have things in common, or so we think. What was amazing to me is this weekend, I played a Latin disco party. Majority of the people there spoke Spanish. I don't speak Spanish. I didn't understand all of the words of the songs that I was playing, but good music is good music. You know what I mean? And what was so amazing to me is that I made a post on my Facebook about how me and this person did not have things in common, except for that we're both happy. She's married. She's, been married for 30 years, got great kids, good job, the 9 to 5. It was just, I was so happy for her. But then it made me reflect and look at my life. And I'm like, well, I'm a single woman and I'm doing it on my own and I'm having fun and I'm traveling. And maybe some people might look at me and go, oh, but she doesn't have a man or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And actually, you don't know what I got. But but anyway, it just made me realize, and I've already known this. This is why I do what I do, because I enjoy very much not fitting some kind of mold. I enjoy very much going against the grain. I enjoy very much just beating to my own drum and doing my own thing. And you can call it whatever you want to, but I love having a positive impact on people. I love just spreading love, and it feeds me like you have no idea. And to see that woman so happy, and we don't have things in common, but we like music, we like to dance. I like disco music, and we like to be happy. So we had those things in common, not the outer things, and you would have never known that. She would have never known that. I would have never known that had we not been placed in a situation where I needed to entertain their family. When I did Lenny's celebration party yesterday, it also made me realize, I'm like, wow, because of the way that I am, I do have this ability to go into this situation and make it lighthearted and make it, and give the woman what she's looking for, which is a way to celebrate her dad's life. And, I wouldn't say send him off because he ain't going nowhere, but, it's send him off to the next chapter with smiles and love. And listening to his life, it made me realize that we have come so far, but we still have so far to go. But I think that we need to do this with a little bit more of a lighter hand. Now, I was watching Daily Pop yesterday, and I don't think it was a live show, but I was watching on how Melanie was talking about, they were talking about Scarlett Johansson and how, white women keep getting cast for these roles, and how nowadays that the roles should be going to said ethnic group or, handicap or whatever. And I do agree with that to a certain extent, because listen, I do think it's important that we have more inclusion. I do think it's important that we have different females in the roles that are for major movies and cartoons. People are up in arms about this whole Ariel thing. The truth of the matter is I am a black female who grew up in the 80s and 90s. And I can tell you that I mentally had issues, as in thinking that I was not pretty, because the only woman that I ever saw who looked like me, kind of, was like Beverly Johnson and Iman. And then you had Grace Jones. And so it was not, people might not realize how important it is that everybody is represented, because this is America. And America has always been a melting pot, okay? Because the Native Americans were here, and then folks came here and like took it over. So this has always been a melting pot of people of diverse nationalities. I'm so sick and tired of hearing people say race. It's like, you, in my opinion, you sound so dumb when you say different races, as if human beings are different species. Motherfucker, we come from different nations. So the correct terminology should be nationalities. Like, oh my God, you have no idea. Because it has been something that I read in a book that this person gave to me on an FM station out here in Connecticut. Actually, this person gave me an historical book. And it was like the book that the slave owners would give to each other on how to like mentally entrap Black people, and they did it in a way that it would be generational, because this is spiritual teachings that what you think is what you become. And so if they can change the way you think or make you think different, then how you will be, will be affected, And in this book, it was just basically kind of like the biggest thing I took away from it was they would take the biggest slave, the biggest, strongest slave, and then they would take him in the middle and they would beat the crap out of him so that all of the other people would be like, whoa, I better not say nothing because they just fucked up John. You know what I mean? And that mentality, I think, did work for a very long time because people were not necessarily speaking up. There was the 60s where there was like this uproar and there was this rise up for the civil rights. But then they just kind of like, I think, lulled people back into a sense of don't say nothing because we're going to come and we're going to put water hoses on you. We're going to beat the crap out of you. It's just when we look at history, these are things that cannot be denied. But again, knowing how physics work, you can't keep looking at the problem trying to fix it. Like, you literally have to have your eye towards the solution. And it just really hit me that I'm like, wow, so even this white male was not able to be himself. Our country was the way it was and has affected so many different types of people that we are due for change. We're totally due for change. But here's the thing, right? So this is the reason why I'm making this podcast, is because as I was listening to this man's life, okay? So he lived in Naples. I lived in Naples. He met his wife in Texas. I was born in Texas. He loves to sing. He was an entertainer. I love to sing, but you don't know it. And I'm an entertainer. He wasn't able to live his life as his true, authentic self for a while. Neither was I. I don't mean sexually. I just mean me being me. People making fun of me because of my energy or because of the things that I'm into. My friends, or, well, they're not my friends now, but, people that I've known who'd be like, oh, well, I'm more Black than you. Exes who've said that to me. White people who have said that to me. Not an accepting that this is who I am. Because I have never, when I was a kid, I am a rebel, okay? And when I was a kid, I was like, I will not be what you motherfuckers are trying to make me be. I'm not going to be a statistic. You're not going to look at me and know who and what I'm about. It's just not going to happen until I open my mouth. You know what I mean? It's just, I'll let you think whatever you want to think, but trust and believe you're wrong. Has always been the attitude that I had. And when my character got called into question because of, I like to befriend people who are misfits, so to speak, I'm a misfit. So therefore, I believe other misfits are good in heart, but, they're unconventional. So I have befriended all kinds of crazy people. I will say this. Some of those people, yeah. Sometimes an apple is an apple, and you just got to know there's a worm in that apple. Leave it alone. But for the most part, I hugely believe that you cannot judge a book by its cover. Get to know a person, and then make your decisions. It just was so interesting. The church he went to is a church my mom went to. My mom had the same issue. She was one way. Thank God she had me. And then, got to be her true self. And listening, I was so blown away. I mean, even the place that they had the celebration of life was like at a place that I love. I'm like, oh my God, it just made me realize, and I was talking to the daughter who hired me. I was like, this is crazy because there's so many things in common, and you wouldn't even know, and listening to it, it just made me feel like, number one, I was in the exact place that I was supposed to be. Number two, it made me realize that there is a dire need for the United States to get it together. Like, we are the leaders of the world. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think that we're like necessarily, top dog, but we kind of are top dog. All these other countries kind of are following our lead. People want to leave their countries to come here. I think that it's something that we've got to work on, but can we please not lose our sense of humor? One of the things that made us so great is our ability to make fun of ourselves. To know that there are certain stereotypes that, have a little bit of truth to them and they're kind of funny. But then there's other stereotypes that are just downright hurtful. Whoever came up with them and they were saying them, they came up with them and said them in derogatory means. I think that we definitely should be celebrating our diversity and our differences because that's what makes us so beautiful. But at the same time, we can't be so rigid and so locked in that we can't make jokes, because the reason why things are funny is because they're kind of true. You know what I mean? You sprinkle a little truth with a little exaggeration, makes for some funny shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just is what it is. See, what was so funny is that while I was talking on the phone with his daughter and we were just talking about stuff, and I started getting these goosebumps. It was 90 degrees outside, 90 something, right? And we're talking and I just kept getting these goosebumps. And I was like, dude, I think your dad is like, yeah. And because I was telling her, I was like, I'm an energy person. I know this might sound a little bit weird, but your dad is totally here right now. You know what I'm saying? And I think he's like giving me some messages or something. And then to go to the place and then to hear all of these things we had in common and to hear these places that we've been in, we've been in the same places. It just made me think to myself that there might be a little bit more of a rhythm and a pattern and a deliberateness to this whole thing we call life than we recognize or realize. And even with people that you don't actually know, because we've got this law of attraction, because of the physics, because of the quantum mechanics, because of the way that things are working, we are being grouped together and brought together with people that we have things in common with, and you don't even know it. So that guy that you're sitting next to, you don't even know, but you guys might have went to the same school, or you might have grew up in the same neighborhood. It's like mind blowing. It is absolutely mind blowing. So the point of this rant, because it really just is a freaking rant, is, dude, there is something so great at work right now. Even with this stupid, I am not a name caller, but even with the stupid things that this effing president is saying and tweeting, I really believe it is being done on purpose. I don't think that he's saying, oh, I'm going to try to unite the United States. I'm going to try to unite the people by saying this. No. Have you ever, okay, so yesterday I was talking to the brother of said daughter, right? And we were talking about how, things are just like, it's just weird how things are like coming together and you don't really realize it, and how things like, the synchronicities and the timings of things. And we were talking about how he was saying he was hanging out with a friend who had lost his mom and he never really got over it. It had been a while, right? Some years, and he just never really got over it. And then they were hanging out together, just hanging out. And he said that all of a sudden he felt the urge to tell him, hey, your mom is with you, and she's got her hand on your shoulder. And he said that when he felt the urge to say it, he then said it. And then his friend responded with, you know what? I had a dream about my mom last night. And, she was saying that she was with me. Thank you for saying that, And he was like, the guy I was talking to was like, it was just really weird because like all of a sudden I just felt this urge to say it, and turns out like it was like right on time. And I laughed and I was like, yo, that is what I'm talking about. There is vital forces. There are spirits, our ancestors. I don't know what you want to call it. If just the prana, the energy of the continuation of life, of the intention that has been set from the minute this whole Big Bang started, whatever it may be, I really truly think that we are on this course that although we can deter it, I believe there are too many people who are connected to source who are wanting to see evolution happen. And so we are continuing to evolve, whether you like it or not, I'm mind blown. I'm telling you, because it was just, like I said, I read a book about synchronicity and timing, but I will say this. There are times when things happen that I'm like, whoa, that is a lot to be synchronized at the same time. I mean, my brother was born in Germany. I mean, hearing about this man that, the first parts of his life was, it was fun. It was exciting. It was happy. He fell in love. He had a kid. He was the life of the party. People from his school were like, oh my God, everybody wanted to dance with him. He was freaking awesome. And even though he was happy, he wasn't living his complete authentic truth, the way that God made him. And then later on in life, he did his thing and moved to Germany. And, as everybody was saying, in the past 8 years, he lived more life and was so happy, and what touched me is that he too felt like he didn't have a lot of people to hang out with, but the amount of people that came to wish his family and to send him off in his transition, a lot of people showed up. And it's funny because you never know the impact that you're having on people. You just never know. I had been contemplating myself, just, impact that we have on people. And when we meet people, how we're brought together. That was on my mind. And then to hear this man's brother get up there and say that, my mind is blown. I can't even. So here's my thing, right? My takeaway from all of this and why I wanted to make this little rant here is that, one, we are here only for a short period of time, and you don't know how long your time is. I do kind of think that you do know. My personal opinion, I don't think like, it's like, oh, I'm gonna, I don't think it's like that. But I do think that everybody has, whether you want to be here or not. And from what I understand, even though he was living his best life and he was loving it, he was so upset at how the state of the affairs of the world. I think that we need to have as many people as possible holding on to the truth of the light, that we are evolving and that things are getting better. But things can only get better by people holding on to the solution. I'm not sure that those who are having all of these discussions about the problems are the ones that are actually making anything happen. I really don't think so. I really think it's the meditators, it's the light workers, it's the people spreading love, it's the people who are being happy, it's the people who are being themselves, it's the men and women who are getting dressed every day in the clothes and the makeup that they want to get dressed in, and then they go outside in the real world and they do their thing. Those are the people who are making change. It is the white people who are hiring black people. It is the black people who are hiring white people. It is the Spanish people who are hanging out with Asians. It is people who are actually who are making these changes. Those who are arguing about policies and this and that, they are not the ones who make the change. Donald Trump can say all the crap he wants to. He is not the one who makes the change. We are. Our response to his rhetoric is what's making the change. And I just think that it is so important for us to all live our authentic life, whatever that may be, and for everybody to calm the fuck down, because there literally are some other powers at work here. You know, there's some things going on. Okay. So some other forces that are at work that cannot be seen, but that is an organizing. And that's where I guess they came up with these algorithms, because it organizes things in these patterns and in such ways that it all seems so randomly, chaotically, efficiently ordered. If that makes sense. It's just, I don't know. It's just absolutely amazing. So I personally think, I just wanted to say, number one, let's all can't believe I'm about to say, calm the fuck down. Okay. Number two, we all apparently have a purpose. And that purpose is found in having fun. Life is short. Enjoy yourself. And again, calm the fuck down. I cannot believe that this, like, how my mind is blown, you guys. Like, my mind, and you know, again, my whole life I've been living this whole synchronicity, you know, all of that, and I'm not surprised, but my mind is blown on how the universe, mind blown. So I'm just going to say it again. We are all here on purpose. If you've had abortions, honey, don't worry about it, because I've had one, and it used to bother me, okay? Like, it used to bother me. But I think that might have been written in too. So I just, yeah, I keep getting my mind, I'm telling you, my mind is blown, you know? This ish is deep, and it's a beautiful, wonderful thing. We absolutely need to continue pushing forward in the steps that we've been going in, because I look forward to the day where everybody is allowed to live and love exactly how they want to, with no apologies. And I don't think that this world is ever going to be in a place where we just live in complete peace every single day, because that might be a little boring, let's be honest. We love a villain. But I do think that just an understanding, and as our understanding comes, it doesn't mean that conflict is going to go away, because I'm going to have an opinion, you're going to have an opinion, we're going to disagree, but I'm just not going to try to kill you afterwards. That's all. You feel me? Like, I mean, is that so hard? Yes. Ay. I'm just saying. So, listen. Live, eat, prosper, eat, pray, love, live long and prosper, all of that good stuff. I'm telling you, my mind is blown. There is absolutely something else at work here. And I mean, and science is proving it, that, you know, and even that's what the book is about mixing of the religion and the science, and not the religious, you know, the mitzvahs and the rules, you know what I'm saying? But the words and the knowledge that was being brought forth, and that needs to be, that the science is explaining what these indigenous people were trying to say long ago, is my opinion. The other thing that I thought was pretty cool is that they actually had the father that did the service was gay. And I'd never heard the words that he spoke, the way that he spoke them, come from the church before. And I was like, whoa, they're actually talking about the truth right now. This is, whoa. So we'll see. We shall see. I really think that we are definitely going forward, and that the Trump comments, well, you know, I think it's time that we definitely all come together and realize that just about everybody here is an immigrant. Just saying. So, yeah. And the fact that his wife, honey child, please, I can't even take it seriously enough to even continue to talk about it. You know what I mean? But I will say this. Being at that celebration of life, there absolutely are some other forces at work. And I really hope that you do something every single day to make yourself feel good so that you can feel those forces at work in your life. Because that's how you get them to work for you. It's not by asking. It's not by positive thinking. It's you got to feel good, and do something for yourself to feel good. And that jizzy little feeling that's in your chest will grow. So with that being said, honey, I'm gonna go ahead and get up on out of here and go and live some life and be happy with my life, because it's my life, not yours.
This is Sanja.
Yo, check it out. It's my girl Sanja.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, what up, Sanja?
Listen, I wanted to tell you about my book that I wrote, Manifest Beauty, a book based on my life about manifesting. I really used to think I was a witch. I used to think I was crazy. Then I grew up, kept on researching, found out it's the law of attraction. Well, there seems to be like a real life law of attraction thing, and then there's like this theory of just ask, believe, and receive, and you get everything you want. And I noticed it doesn't exactly work like that, but it kind of does. So I just wanted to share with you. It's available on Amazon, Walmart.com, and some other places where books are sold. Check it out. It's called Manifest Beauty. Super simple to read, super quick to read. Includes some exercises on there to show you how your thoughts are really turning into things and how that's actually happening in real life and not just in theory. It's Manifest Beauty, available on Amazon.